How's it going, everyone? I know it's been a while since my last video. Just a quick recap of what's been going on in my life. The house I lived in was sold. I found an apartment for myself. Once I got all settled in, of course, my Elgato stopped working. I have a new one now. I went to Finland to help out with the production of the IS Cup. For those who don't know, that is an EASHL 6v6 LAN event featuring the best sixes teams in Europe. I plan to make a video about that whole experience later on, but today I just want to focus on one particular aspect of the event, and that is the goalie builds the top European goalies used. It was very interesting talking about goalie mechanics with them, as their philosophy around builds and certain aspects of gameplay are very different from what John and I have talked about in our videos, and I think it's something that you will enjoy. First up is PCJP. He was on Butterfly Effect and his team finished in 4th place. I think he made the most saves in the entire event. He has 2 goalie builds for us. The first one he uses is for one-timers. It has a higher speed than the other build, as you will see. So this one's a hybrid build, 193 centimeters and 96 kilograms, which for us North Americans would be 6'4", 211, 212 pounds, which is a big difference than what we're used to seeing, as John and I usually prefer lighter goalies for speed and agility, but he likes the heavier weight for the boost in rebound control, which he has at 90. No primary trait, down low 2 for secondary, and PK energy for the specialty. Now, for what this does to his attributes, you'll see that he boosts up his low stats instead of his high. The rebound control, as we said, is up at 90, vision is at 90, and his speed and agility is at 88, which, although it's in the red, 88 I would say is considered average, not too fast, not too slow. His next build is targeted towards teams that use a lot of deflections and rebounds. Now we have a butterfly build, 196 centimeters, 92 kilos, which is a max height of 6'5" and about 203 pounds. The traits are quick recovery 2, 5-hole 1, and PK energy is still the specialty. The low attributes are still preferred over the highs, but now rebound control and quick recovery, shot recovery, have been boosted all the way up to 92. He wants to be ready to make all those second and third saves on rebounds, and you may notice his speed and agility has dropped to 84 in this build, and he says that's because when there's a scramble in front of the net, a loose puck, he prefers a slower build to help keep his movements in check. Next up we have Sibelius. He played for Philadelphia, who finished in 3rd place. He's rocking a hybrid build, max height 6'5" with a weight of 93 kilos, which is about 205 pounds. He says that he likes the taller and heavier builds because he believes that it covers more of the net. His traits are quick recovery 1, 5-hole 2, and cross crease master. Now his reflexes are the most balanced, which you will see the highs and lows aren't that far apart, ranging from 84 to 87. His rebound control and shot recovery are at 90 and 92 respectively, so it shows, like most of the builds you will see today, they believe that these attributes are important, and 92 vision also helps with deflections. His speed and agility are both at 88, which, as I said before, is considered average. He says he doesn't need that much speed, but if he does need an extra boost, that is where the cross crease master specialty can come into play, because it does give a push-off speed boost during cross creases. Now we have Cappe. He was the goalie for Delusion, who finished in 2nd place. He's a very friendly, fun goalie, as you can see in his celebration. I actually ran into him the night before the event. I was surprised he actually knew who I was, so that was a little bit of an ego boost for myself, because I'm a nerd like that. Using a hybrid build, he has the shortest goalie of the bunch at 191 centimeters. That's 6'3", and 81.5 kilos. That is the lightest weight possible, 180 pounds. His traits are 5-hole 2, down low 1, and cross crease master. Now, just like the other builds we've seen today, he prefers the lows over the highs, but he also has his 5-hole boosted to 90. The lighter weight comes at the expense of rebound control, which is 84, but his speed and agility are all the way up to 92, which is easily the fastest among the builds that you will see here today. Talking with Cappe, the biggest shots you might be concerned about are deflections and rebounds, shots up close in traffic. So to help with those, he does have his vision at 92. His 5-hole is all the way at 90, and the extra speed helps him with moving across the crease for one-timers. So he's basically got every kind of shot taken care of by boosting the attributes that he feels are important. And last but not least, we have the champ, Hansu. He made a bunch of huge saves, especially on breakaways. I think he saved all but one, some which absolutely blew my mind. So let's take a look at his build. He uses butterfly, max weight, and max height. So that's 6'5", 220 pounds. Sealed 5-hole as the primary trait, no secondary trait, and PK energy as the specialty. So with this setup, he has all of his low attributes set to 90, rebound control at 95, and I think that might be the highest possible in the game. His vision is at 90, and his speed and agility are actually on the slower end at 82. Now this build makes a lot of sense for him and his team. He plays on what is widely considered to be the best sixes team in Europe. He has an amazing defense in front of him. They don't allow many one-timer opportunities. He faces a lot of deflections and rebounds, so he doesn't need a high-speed build. He can afford to play a little bit deeper in his crease to help him prepare for those rebounds. Now let's recap what the biggest differences were that I noticed between the European builds and the builds that John and I, prefer, and the ones that we tend to see more in North America. The first difference was low versus high. Usually I prefer the higher attributes. The Europeans preferred lows. Now I prefer high because the skaters are moving up the ice with the left stick, and the left stick is also what they use to aim their shots. So if they're moving up, they're going to aim up. That's why I prefer the high shots. But as I said before, they face a lot of rebounds and deflections. That's why they preferred the low shots. Heavy versus light. Most of them seem to prefer heavier goalies for rebound control, and as I said before, that makes sense when you're facing a lot of rebound shots. John and I tend to prefer on the lighter side, or average to lighter side. We prefer speed over rebound control, and that's because when it comes to rebound control, I think we both believe that it's more based on your positioning. So as long as your positioning is fine, you should do a good job of controlling your rebounds. So that tends to be our thought process behind it. Now, why are these things so different? It can't just be like a cultural difference. And I think it's just a lot of the shots that you tend to face. A lot of the shots that I saw at the event were rebounds, deflections, a lot of plays from behind the net, whether they were wraps, fake wraps, and centering passes right in front of the net. Not as many one-timers. Not because they didn't try, but just they weren't open as much. So they make their builds reflect the shots that they're going to face the most, and that makes sense. If I'm going to face a lot of rebounds, I'm going to play a little bit deeper in the crease, and I'm going to create a build that fits that style. Now finally, what does this mean for goalie builds in general? Well, in my opinion, nothing. A question that John and I see all the time is, what is the best goalie build? We post the ones that we use. We talk about the attributes that we prefer and why. But as you can just see, the European goalies, they use builds that are completely different, and they both work. Whether you prefer speed or rebound control, high or low, heavy or fatter or lighter goalies, what matters the most is how you position yourself on the ice to make saves. I hope you enjoyed this video. Special thanks to PCJP, Sibelius, Cappe, and Hansu for sharing their builds. I had a great time meeting you all in Finland. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.